Hey everybody, it is Dan with Alpha Traders again, Alpha Traders Inc. on Twitter and YouTube and alphatraders.com. If you're interested in signing up, becoming a member, love to have you through free 3-day trial. All right. So here we go. This is what we're looking at for this week. Again, not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just giving information that, in my opinion. Um, so let's look at the cues. We've done ESF, we've done the VIX. Let's take a look at where we're at with tech. Um, you can use NQ as well. I'm just doing QQQ instead. I trade Qs a little better than NQ personally, so I like to stick to it. It's a lot like, as they say, as tech goes, as big tech goes, so does SPX. But there's a little bit of difference here, and there's a little bigger of a range in coming into this week. So we have our base low here, 337. If you want to be a uber bear, you can be 334, whatever. Um, you have your support here. There's a lot of confluent support here. Daily closes at this area. One, two, three, four. So 351 is a nice area um, to think you can long, in my opinion. I think that when you have one, two, three, four local touches, local being within the last month, 2 weeks, somewhere in the 2 to 4 week range when you're looking at the daily, I think this tells you a lot of where the cues are. So now that we have a support area, well, where are we kind of topping off at? And now you have a little bit of confluence here. And also there's some gap down there, but I'd probably not even use this personally. I'm going to stick more locally. You have one, two, three taps at it. So that tells me, so we have a three and a four. If you're counting, daily closes around this general area, and that gives us an idea that 371, we'll round it up, 371 or 370, whichever you want to go into. And, 351 ish. You could say it's 350, 140, 350. I'll just call it 351 for sake of just giving us a defined range. And I think that for us, because I do think tomorrow's going to be down. I mean, ESF right now is at 44.78. It was down to 44.72 earlier. Again, remember that was a support area. That's a whole different story for members and whatnot. But what we're talking about on the cues here, I think we get this pushed down to 353 tomorrow, 354, somewhere in there. I do think this is a good area to bounce. And I think it's a really good risk reward area in the sense that if you get in this area, you can risk the cues or tech or whatever. You can long Google, you can long Facebook. Well, maybe not zombie face, Zuckerberg's company, but something that's actually quality. You can do Nvidia, you can do Tesla, you can do, Google, those types of companies. Companies that are actually like good. And locally, you're looking at, okay, if this will be my midpoint I'm looking at. So tomorrow, if we just hang out here all day, I won't buy anything. I won't sell, I won't do puts, I won't do calls, I won't do any of that. But if we get to this extreme at 351, 352 area, probably at around 353, I'm going to start buying calls probably for Friday. I probably won't do it on the cues itself. I'm giving you the cues just so you have a tech exposure here. But I do think that I'll be longing Tesla, um, Google, Microsoft, those types of things. Going into, if we get down here tomorrow, I'll probably do Tesla and I'll probably do Nvidia and I'll probably do Microsoft. Would be my guess. That can change on a dime. So you would think that, hey, we at least get a relief bounce 361 if it's strong and the market is really truly in this range that we're talking about between here 351 and 371, then this midpoint will give a little bit of resistance, but it shouldn't be so much supply that we can't get through it on a gap up going into Wednesday or Thursday and then opening up 366 and 370. So for me, I'm looking at, okay, I get to 353. This is me trading. I'm giving you guys free alpha here. I'm looking at it saying, okay, this is a good RR, good risk reward. I'm going to go 353. If I'm playing the cues, I can long it. Let's go Friday. Let's give it a little bit of time to breathe. Or if we want to get crazy, we could do next week's fine. Probably a little expensive. But for me, I'm going to say, okay, let's look at Friday. If it's Monday afternoon, It's tomorrow afternoon. I'm going, okay, well, this is interesting. So it's power hour, 2 o'clock. We're at 354, 353. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a stab at along here. Let's go with the 361s, and then we'll also layer it. We'll do a alpha bull spread. So what we call it on the probably 368s, 367. So we have a little bit of room to breathe. If it does jump to 370, we get those $3 on top of it. I'm not just trading the IV. So for me, I'm just looking at this saying it's a good RR, and I think I can get at least a 361, 362. And then if we get a daily close above that, or we get power through it in RTH or get gap up, all three scenarios are good. I can get the 370 most likely, at least 366. So for me, I'm still making 40, 50, 60% on the Qs. I will probably play Nvidia or Tesla, like I said, or Microsoft or Apple or Qualcomm or LRCX. We'll see what's moving at the time. But that's kind of where I'm playing this week. Sorry to be long winded and took a little longer than I wanted to, but we'll see you guys out there. AlphaTraders.com.